What's your thoughts on the Snyder cut? Are you looking forward to it? Are you
absolutely, big time. I mean, I have an associate producer shirt in my closet because I supported the movie. Zack, that goes to, I don't know if you know the story. You know, his daughter killed herself, and WB used that as an excuse to fucking get rid of him because they weren't happy with it, which is fine because this shit is dark. I get it; it's not for everybody.
Right.
But the Justice League is so bad, dude, and I was so excited. I remember I had my Superman shirt. First scene of the movie, it's the stupid video footage of Superman with the CG mustache, and it was fuck, dude. Oh my god, PTSD, horrible. So whatever the Snyder cut ends up being, which is now it's gonna be a 4-episode miniseries, it's gonna be better than that. Fucking Batman in the Justice League, like the reshoots, you could tell he was fat. His fucking hair piece was like fucked up. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it all makes sense. That wasn't his vision. Let him finish his vision. Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman. Dark movies, not your usual take on DC characters, but it's his own Snyderverse. Let him do his fucking thing, dude. And now Twitter made it happen. Released a Snyder cut, and then fucking here we are. And they're actually going to do reshoots. I think next week. The original cast is gonna get back together, make it happen. So like, dude, it could be good.
Right.
That's where I'm at. Like, it could be good. They got my money. Like, whatever. Let's fucking go. Whatever it is, it's going to be better than the fucking piece of shit that came out.
Do you mind it being broken up to 4 episops? Do you mind that?
No, not at all. If it was 4 hours, if it was the original 4-hour cut, I would have taken it to the face. It is what it is. I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Right.
But you know, like Tarantino gets me in there for 3 hours. A fucking Endgame was 3 hours. Yeah. Like, you know, 4 hours is like what the fuck. But
that's the limit.
Yeah, that might be a little bit too much, dude. That might be where it's like, all right, maybe that's too much.
Okay.
But would you go? Well, you're not really a DC guy, so.
I'm not a Snyder guy, first and foremost.
Sure, that's racist.
Is it?
Yeah, made you think about
Snyder race?
See, you hesitated.
The Snyder race, I guess.
That's right.
Know, but I think I had this conversation. I think I talked to you about this too. I was like, listen, his movies, 300, Watchmen. If to me,
you're naming the good ones. It sounds like you're talking about the good ones. Oh my god, you are lucky. You are wherever the fuck you are, young man.
Can't touch me.
Jesus Christ.
But to me, it's like he messed up. What was that? Sucker Punch. When you got scantily clad women, explosions, guns, and things, and that's not entertaining.
Sir, you sound like a pervert. 1, 2. I agree. Sucker Punch wasn't good.
Look at the setup. You got women in like little skirts and things, and they're holding.
But Watchmen was fucking good, sir.
I got some good sleep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Disrespectful. And 300, everybody like this is Sparta, dude. Come on. When it first came, you know, like
slow-mo over and over again, used again. It was.
That was his thing. But it was a comic.
It was his thing. Too much.
Wow.
Like 50 times. Too much. 20 maybe. 10 times. Once. Okay, now it's a thing. But when you use it that many times in one fight scene, it's too much. It's too much. What was the first movie he did? Was it not Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, I think it was
Dawn of the Dead
remake. It was 2005.
I enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed Batman vs Superman until Martha.
Stop it.
And that killed it. I went into
now. Did it kill it for you after like it became a meme, or like in the theater you were like,
in the theater? Fuck. I was like, what the, like, wait, what? Like, because I went in with an open mind. I was like, I'm here for this. Let's see where it goes. I was like, okay, we get the prep. I get it. Okay, he's mad because they started with the how the last movie ended. He's breaking stuff. You're ruining Wayne stuff. I'm mad. I don't like you. Okay, all right, cool, got it. You know, absolute power can corrupt. Absolutely, I see your point. Okay, got it. He's not that, but I see why you. Okay, I'm rolling. Then he's fighting him. He's training. He's lifting tires. He's all right, cool. Yeah, making little grenades. Got it. Makes sense. They fighting, he's doing it, and then it's, you know, gotta save Martha. Why'd you say that name? And I'm like, why?
I feel like if it hadn't become such a meme, it wouldn't. It makes sense, dude. That's their mom's name, dude.
No.
What's your mom's name, bro?
I would not.
What's your mom's
name?
What's your mom's name, dude? If I'm beating the fuck out of some white boy, And he's like, Alejandra. And I'm like, what? Why'd you say that name? Like, I might still kill him afterwards.
And I think that shouldn't have changed his feelings towards him. Now we're best buds. He dies anyway.
I don't know if you're aware of this, sir, that they're super friends. They're super friends. They're supposed to be friends. What did you want them to do?
Now we have to honor his you want to kill him anyway. Now
but what did you want to happen? What's the alternative? Batman kills Superman? That's the movie? Like, what the fuck?
Open mind. So I was willing to let what happened happen. I think two things. I think Doomsday was spoiled in the releasing in the trailer.
I agree.
If we didn't know he was coming, we wouldn't have known that they wouldn't have been the end of it. Something else is going to happen. So if that would have been a surprise, like, oh, he's going to die. Oh,
even Diana showing up, like, had they kept Wonder Woman, at least for the trailers, dude.
I think that would have given it, that would have probably made up for the Martha moment. Not knowing that was going to happen and then saying, oh, okay, they brought me back now, but knowing that was coming anyway. And then that Martha moment, and then it's like, oh, you know what? He's dead, but we got to do this for him. And it's like, you wanted to kill him 5 minutes ago.
Things change, man.
Mission accomplished.
Things change.
We got him. High fives all around. No? Nobody? You with me?
Out of your mind. So anyway, Snyder Cut. Keep an eye out. It's going to be fucking great.
I'm going to watch it.
So are you going to watch it? Exactly.
Watch it.
There you go. So
I can't critique it if I don't watch it. So
they got your money anyway, so shut up.
I
hope they double fucking down. I hope they double down. I hope they're like, you know what, Martha? Let's call ourselves the Martha League. I hope they go all the way in, dude.
Nope. Then I'm definitely going to be like, this is trash. They did it again. Why do they keep making that a thing? We don't care what his mama name is, nor his mama. Oh, snap. They both name it. I don't care. I don't care.
I get it.
It just didn't seem like I'm about to kill somebody. It's like, oh, your mom. Oh,
with a spear, dog. He had the kryptonite spear.
We got so much. Did we just become best friends?
I think so.
No.
Yep.
No. But yes, Snyder Cut. I'm not looking forward to. I'm not hyped about it, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see what his vision was for it, and hopefully, it's better than the Justice League. We're back with another movie we're going to review. You know how it is. You know how it goes. We just pick some content, some entertainment. Last week we did WandaVision. This week we're doing the long-awaited and wanted Snyder Cut. All right. Got a couple of new guys here on the panel this time, like we did last time. We're going to give out individual grades on it first, and the grading system, like I said last time. Awesome, dope, meh, and trash. Awesome, top of the top, best of the best. 9 to a 10 number if you want to give it a number. Dope is 7 to 8. Meh, 5 to 6. And trash is self-explanatory. It's trash. Alrighty, so we're gonna go one by one. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention last time, I put it in the video, but there will be spoilers for those who haven't seen it yet. Everything we do, everything we review will be spoiled if you haven't seen it. By now you should have. So go away if you haven't. Come back and watch it come back and watch us again when you have, because makes no sense to me to talk about anything that you're not gonna fully talk about. So right now we're gonna go one by one, give our reviews. Everybody's watching, comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Tell me what you think. But first off, we're gonna go with Jared because you have a Batman hat on.
So I would say this. A better alliteration than the last version of this, the Josh Whedon version. I'm gonna keep this real short and real sweet. Batman still ain't got superpowers. For those who don't know, it is funny that while everybody can fly or can run really fast, they all walk with Batman to make him not feel so bad about his life. There's too many damn music videos going on between the Aquaman music video and the Barry Allen music video. Typical Snyder stuff, you know, slow-mo and so forth. I would say he definitely lessened up the grayscale from most of his movies. And I'm not really sure. All right, so I'll say I'm not too sure what really was Snyder's original stuff compared to what this we didn't take out or change and so forth. Because to me, he has the advantage of saying it's been 4 years. I've heard the reviews of what people didn't like about so forth. So what can I do to kind of cheat past that and be like, okay, well, yeah, I didn't like this, I can add this. So he kind of has the unfair advantage of making a do-over for a movie that's already been critiqued and released. So there could be original parts to his stuff, or it could be things he reshot, you know, to try to change up some narrative. And look, that's not really to anyone's dismay. It was a lot longer. It did explain some parts that needed to be explained. There were still some plot holes and so forth, but Steppenwolf, you know, looked more alien, but there was no damn point of having Darkseid in it because everybody knows there's no part 2 to this. And Darkseid didn't even do shit. Like he really would just he just showed his face. Like he basically just had Thanos show his face a couple of times and then just fade away. Like he had a couple of lines. And that kind of just took screenplay away. Like Steppenwolf was still the enemy in this whole thing. And it would make more sense if they were going to have a part 2. Then I can see, okay, there's a lead into it somehow, some way. The epilogue part was, I'm not even gonna talk about that trash. That whole dream sequence, whatever. All right, Bruce Wayne has things that come to reality. All right, we get that. So he basically just gave us part 2 of this of the whole Snyder Cut. In all of 5 minutes, which that whole movie could have been wrapped up in an hour and a half tops. So with the music videos and the unlimited slow motion that you will have for no reason, I will give definitely a boost to the end fight scene, although Superman made that shit like a cheat code. To me, out of a awesome, dope, man, trash, to me, it's a high meh. It's a high meh, low dope, but I'm going with high meh into that.
All righty. John, you up next.
Hola. Get ready for my review. when I first saw the 4 hour runtime, I was like, this is ridiculous. 4 hours is bananas. But then I thought about it, and I was like, there are episodes of shows I watch that are hour long, and I can knock out 4 or 5 if they're really good. So I was like, I'll give it a try. But going into it, the first thing I thought was like, you know what? Let me be unbiased. Let me forget the first movie even existed, and let me try to watch this one as a brand new film. And so I'm watching it. I actually don't think it felt like 4 hours, at least for me. I actually enjoyed the film quite a bit. I liked his version. I seen a lot of my friends and I see a lot of people complain about the slow motion. Either they'd never seen a Zack Snyder film, or they're just not fans of it, or they don't like that thing, whatever the reason is. I love Watchmen. I love 300. Like I fuck with Snyder. I expected that. And it also made sense for some of the scenes, because one of my biggest gripes with Man of Steel, which is another one that I really loved from DC, was like when he fought Zod, it was like in the air and shit, it was too fast. So Snyder slowing it down for some of his fight scenes, for me, was actually a better experience. But for the movie, I actually did enjoy it. I enjoyed how they gave a little piece of each character, try to develop them. I can't speak for the director, but from what it seems like to me is that he did this, even the Dark Side introduction, all that stuff. I think he did it because maybe he's hoping that would, because this is the cancel culture. You could argue and you could change things with enough votes, enough Twitter likes, enough stuff. I'm thinking if enough people like it, they might push for it, and they'll be my green light the second one. I would be down to watch the second one. I did enjoy it. My gripes about the movie are actually very small, and I was surprised, being such a huge Marvel person. I was ready to rip this movie apart. I actually enjoyed it. My gripes are small things. I didn't like, because that, it's kind of based off Frank Miller's Dark Knight, his Batman, that version they're using, the bigger, the bulkier, the sign. I didn't like his voice at certain parts. His voice is kind of like digital choppy, but it wasn't a huge complaint, nothing big deal. Like I said, I like the way they introduced Dark Side. It made me interested. From the trailers and from the stuff you saw, I thought Steppenwolf's costume looked stupid because of, it looked like he's like Hellraiser, like a bunch of pins. But then when you look at it closely, it's just intertwined. It kind of looks like metallic muscle fibers. It's actually pretty dope. Me not knowing about the DC universe, it made it cool for me. Even like at first, one of my gripes was the Martian Manhunter when they introduced him, and the movie was about to end. I was like, what's the point of introducing him? And then when they rolled him in at the end, it kind of made it seem like, all right, well, yeah, it definitely was like, all right, maybe there might be another one. Maybe we might do a different part. So like I said, I did enjoy it. I like what they added to Aquaman. I like the little backstory they gave Flash. I did like the Flash character and the way he did his stuff. So I didn't mind that as much. I liked the film. I like I said, I thought it was good. I'm gonna give it a dope. I was surprised I was able to go watch it for 4 hours with no problem. Not stressing, not worried about nothing, no intermission, just straight watch it through. I definitely enjoyed that. And I would be looking forward to a second one if they did a second one, if they were somehow got that greenlit.
Vinny, you up next?
I guess I'm gonna have to agree with Jared on that. Not the low dope. I'm gonna give it a meh. 4 hours. Took me a day and a half after I hit Paul up. He was watching it. He was watching it when I hit him up. 4 hours. It wasn't that bad, but could have been better. It kind of reminded me, watching the movie reminded me how it's like Zack Snyder watched Justice League Unlimited, the cartoons and the movie, and just put it together on in the he took from the animation and put it into the movie, the way how I saw everything complementing each other. Granted, he did character development for some of them. It explained a lot of things I didn't understand from the first movie, and it wasn't bad, but 4 hours is a long time. Mind you, when we all watched Avengers, yeah, 3 hours, that was different. But 4 hours of a movie that was completely trash in the beginning, to do it again, well, no. It's like it's not even like if you're watching like The Hobbits, whatever those, sci-fi books that become into movies. Like it ain't Lord of the Rings, none of that. It's just an underdeveloped movie that could have been better throughout time, but it wasn't. But throughout watching the movie for 4 hours, Bruce Wayne with his dream sequence, which could have been explained more different with the Speed Force. I actually was surprised they even used the Speed Force. and they gave these characters the development that they did. But you know what? It was okay. I'm glad they did that, because watching that movie made me forget about his first one, or the first one, not his first one. So it was very surprising. I just wish it could have been in smaller doses, but hey, I'm not picky and I'm not choosing it. So, you know, I'm not gonna just depict the movie for what it is. Meh, it's my decision. And it was okay. It was okay. 4 hours. I don't think I could just stay in my living room and watch it for 4 hours. Thank God I was traveling the whole time I was watching it. But yeah, you know, eh, strong meh, very strong meh. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna give you, man. Sorry. You can move on to somebody else.
The world needs you too, Lois.
So I just want to clear up some misinformation. It's not like Zack redid the movie. I would say about 85% of this was shot in 2017, and all they did was just finish the effects. There was only one reshoot, and it was the epilogue scene with Jared Leto and Batman. That was the only reshoot. Everything else was just finishing the special effects and putting it together and releasing it. So as far as why they were building towards a sequel, they were. This was supposed to be part of a 3-part thing. This was the first part of a 3-part thing. It's supposed to be 5 movies in total to finish the Snyder epic. So there was a lot more stuff to come. It didn't get to come, but it's not like Zack just redid the movie. He just edited, finished the effects, and that was it. This was crazy that this even came out. To be honest with you, the hashtag release the Snyder cut. I remember when it first happened, the Twitter, whatever, I tweeted it. Everybody was tweeting it, whatever, put in support. But the fans rallied behind them. They got billboards, they got planes. The fact that this even happened is insane. This never happens. No studio puts in fucking money on a movie that bombed to finish it, but everything happened for a reason. HBO Max came out. They wanted something big. This had enough hype on the internet, people talking about it. They made it happen. I remember when I was driving home from my sister's house, and I should not have been driving on Twitter, but I was, and I saw that Ben posted release a Snyder cut. I was like, oh shit! If they got the actual stars to do it, they might actually do this thing. And a couple months later, here we are. I've seen the movie twice already. I wanted to be fair. I saw it on Thursday as soon as it came out. I saw it on 100-inch. The first thing was the aspect ratio. It's not 4:3. It was shot IMAX. Why? Because it was supposed to be released in IMAX back in 2017. It got fucked over. It didn't happen, whatever. But he kept it that way because that's how it was supposed to be. You actually see more of the image. Took it 4 hours to the face. I saw it with another DC fanboy. We loved it. Cool. Then today, I knew I was doing this. So I was like, let me watch it one more time with somebody else who hadn't seen it. Watched it. She enjoyed it, and for some reason I liked it even better the second time. Maybe because I already knew what was going to happen, so I could just focus on what was different and what I enjoyed more about it. I thought it was great, man. If I have to go with the system that we're using here, I'm going to give it a high dope. There was some problems, obviously. This thing is 4 hours because the fans were like, give us everything, every single minute. If you look at Batman vs Superman, when it first came out, it was 2 hours, something like that, 2:15. And then they released the Ultimate Edition, which was 3 hours, and that was for the fans. You could watch it at home, get it on Blu-ray, which I have, whatever, and it's on HBO. This is essentially the same thing, the Ultimate Edition of what would have been his movie had he got to release it in 2017. The fans wanted everything. Do I need to see women singing at Aquaman as he goes into the ocean, sniffing his sweater? No. Could that have been cut? Absolutely. The whole epilogue, is it necessary? No, absolutely not. It definitely tickles the balls for people that wanted to see like what's coming when it's not coming. It's done. It's over. Zack even said that the Justice League is what WB considers canon, but the fans wanted it, so he put it out there, and the movie was great. The action, the Wonder Woman sequence where she was fighting the terrorists in London or Paris, wherever she was, that 10-minute sequence, that super hyper violent sequence where she was killing terrorists in front of little kids, that was better than Wonder Woman 84. The whole thing, and it was 10 minutes. Every time they played her theme, It's just hype. I was, yo, every single time you got hyped. Zack knows how to do his action. The slow motion shit's not for everybody. I get it. Do I need to see Barry slow motion grabbing a hot dog and playing with a girl's hair, Iris's hair? No, but that's Zack. You fuck with her, you don't. And I was watching. I was like, what's he gonna do? Don't be creepy, Barry. Luckily, the hot dog was for the dogs or whatever. It was cool. You guys got to remember, 2017. No Aquaman movie, no Wonder Woman movie yet. This was an introduction to the characters or whatever. So we were supposed to learn more about them later. The Flash movie still has not come out. Aquaman came out, did well. Another one's coming. Wonder Woman had 2 movies already. One of them was terrible. One of them was okay. This was what it was, man. As a lifelong DC fan, to Fenny's point, Justice League Unlimited, this was watching cartoons come to life. Like right after I watched the movie, I popped in Justice League, which is also on HBO Max, and I watched the Darkseid episodes. It was cool. Why was Darkseid there? Because he was supposed to be a bigger part of the next two movies, which is never gonna happen. But it was cool to see. It was fucking cool to see. Even though he didn't end up doing anything, it was still cool to see. So definitely high dope. I really was scared. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was gonna suck. As much as I was hyping it, I was like, there's no way this thing is gonna be good because the other one was so fucking bad. But I didn't realize just how much was all Joss reshoots. Like literally, this movie was 4 hours, and we only seen half an hour of it from the original one. The Superman fight, a little bit of the Wonder Woman sequence. Everything else was fucking Russian families and bullshit and fucking stupid, silly jokes and Flash drawing penis faces on like it was. I'm so happy I never have to watch the Justice League again. And I'm happy for Zack. If you guys don't know, his daughter killed herself. That's one of the reasons he had to step away. And the studio was like, all right, he's out. Let's put Joss, redo the whole movie. It had to be under 2 hours. There's a reason that last one was a piece of shit, but we're not talking about the past. He did this for Autumn. At the end, it came up for Autumn. And I'm happy he got to do this, man. And for her and for everybody, for all the fans, people don't want to fucking see release a Snyder Cut hashtag on every single WB post going forward. But now I think it's going to be restore the Snyderverse. It's not going to happen, guys. It's not. If you like Zack, go watch the new Netflix Army of the Dead movie he's doing. That looks pretty cool. But yeah, definitely high dope. And yeah.
All righty, my turn. As someone who creates content now, something I started doing about 4 or 5 years ago, I can appreciate that that Zack was able to release his version. So shout out to WB, AT&T, DC for at least honoring the fans. I've said it before, the internet is the new streets, and the thugs wanted the Snyder Cut. And the hashtag went crazy. They honored the fans, the nerds, whatever you want to call them. They got their way, and the Snyder Cut came out. Appreciate him definitely getting it. He stuck to what he wanted to be, kept it in the aspect ratio, made it as long as it is. He did it his way, and because of the world we live in now with the streaming services, he has the benefit of doing that, because this movie would have never made it as is in a theater. 4 hours long wouldn't have happened. So definitely appreciate the this representing the times that we're in now, where creators now can make things that can be consumed at home at your own pace. It was broken up into parts for those that wanted to pause and come back or what have you. Definitely appreciate that. Dedicated to his daughter at the end for Autumn. For those, I think Otto spoke on it. Those that don't know, his daughter committed suicide. There's actually a suicide poster in one of the scenes in the movie as well. When Batman and Flash drive off, there's a little shout out on there. So definitely suicide awareness. Yes, big thing. And he got to, I think the biggest thing was basically letting him release it his way. It was kind of them saying we messed up. We messed up. we shouldn't have took your baby and let someone else, touch it. We don't know how much of it was Whedon, how much was the actual Warner Brothers involvement, them saying what to do and having, hey, do what you did for them over there, Marvel guy, do that for us. And we don't know how much. So I don't like to throw a lot of the blame on Whedon, but we all know about the involvement from studios and things mess up a lot of movies. Hence why there was an extended cut of Dawn of Justice as well. So this is, we've been here, they had to go through that before. However, I still feel like I did not like the movie. Yes, it was better than the theatrical Joss Whedon version, which I would have considered trash if we were rating back then. So this one is definitely getting a meh because it's an improvement, it's an upgrade. I feel at the end of the day, if you like Zack Snyder movies, you will like this movie. If you don't like Zack Snyder movies, you will not like this movie. And I myself do not like Zack Snyder movies because he's heavy on the same excessive slow-mo, grayed out color palette, and it's just not for me. And I feel like he needs a Lord of the Rings type epic movie. He needs to do more of a King Arthur, Excalibur type, dragons and witches, and he needs a movie. He needs to do a story like that with his storytelling. I think he'll be perfect for that. It does work in this DC universe. I just didn't enjoy the movies themselves, and that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big Zack Snyder fan. We've spoken about this before numerous times. But that's just me. This one, like I said, is getting a meh. It's an improvement on the theatrical version. Gives you a lot more explanation, gives you a lot of backstory, explains a lot of things that were plot holes before. However, it still has a few more for me, a few plot holes now, and I just didn't enjoy it.
I have a question. One of the biggest things and one of the reasons I really didn't think I was going to like it is because I knew that the original story, the focus was on Cyborg and he was the heart of the story. So I'm curious, did you like Cyborg? Because I ended up liking Cyborg. I didn't think I was gonna. I really didn't.
I appreciated Cyborg. The everything that was fleshed out, I appreciated. It gave more backstory. It just took too long. So I think this cut itself could have been chopped down to 3 hours, and could have been a theatrical release. But I think it just
I agree with that.
Too long, and it was a lot like you said. The final epilogue and things could have been taken out, and especially now that we know it's not getting a sequel because Zack himself said, "Nah, I'm out." But he wanted to have it, so cool, fine. But if for a theatrical version of it, there was a few things that could have been taken out, sped up. We didn't need all the operatic singing in slow mo for Aquaman walking into the water.
You telling me you wouldn't have sniffed his sweater though? Come on,
no.
That guy's jacked, dude. Come on, what are we talking?
I'm good. But I definitely, like I said, it was a lot more explained. Just like the extended version of Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
You got a lot of okay, that was Jimmy. It filled in a lot of gaps. But at the end of the day, I was still like, okay, it's still the same movie. And even with this one, I think it's the same movie still. A lot of people are saying, the narrative is different. The tone is darker. But at the end of the day, you get from A to B. It just goes in the Snyder, GPS. Whereas
the story points, unfortunately, that's another thing that I want to touch on. When I went into Endgame, I went in blind.
You are a producer. I want to make
associate producer.
Yeah, you're associate producer. So for those that didn't know, I have a special.
I don't know if you guys can see my associate producer back there, but yeah, I donated.
Which means what though? What does that
I donated
mean?
to the Suicide Foundation for Autumn. This is the Justice League. There's the A for Autumn. So we all, the fans donated, and you get to become an associate producer. Yada yada. Anyway, that's the point.
I don't have my glasses.
Endgame, right?
J and L.
J L, and then the A is right there. It's a little baby L.
We see it.
All right. So anyway, Endgame, right? Endgame. I'm Paul. You know how I am. I'm super hyper anal about fucking trailers and spoilers, right? So Endgame, I went in blind. The only thing I know about Endgame is that they all had the white suits, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, they can do time travel. That's it.
Mhm.
When I went into Endgame, Fat Thor wasn't spoiled for me. Cap versus Cap wasn't spoiled for me. Smart Hulk wasn't spoiled for me. The last fight wasn't spoiled for me. I know when that last fight with the portals, I know I was out of my seat pounding my chest when Cap got to wield Mjolnir, dropped, bro. Whoo, that's what being a fucking nerd is all about. Hyped in, oh, so good. This fucking piece of shit, because of Joss's and the whole situation. To your point, it's the same story. You know the plot points. Mother boxes are gonna get got. They're gonna fight Steppenwolf at the end to be continued. Yada yada yada. So it's more like, well, what was the original intention? How was it gonna be? How was Bruce gonna recruit the lead? Yada yada. But for the most part, you knew what it was because that is what it is. So there weren't surprises. Besides that, this has been 2017. It's 2021. Years of people campaigning for this, and all this stuff was already revealed. I knew Martian Manhunter was in it. I knew that it was gonna be about Cyborg. I knew about the Barry scene. Like there was like, as a fan, there weren't a lot of surprises. I knew about the black suit, you know, like, so it's just, but I fucking wish if I had seen this version alone back then or whatever, but like a little tighter without the stupid epilogue, you know, just 3 hour, like whatever, just like Endgame, it would have probably been one of my favorite movies, but there was no surprises. So it was just like, all right, oh, that would have been cool. Oh, the Superman versus the League fight, which was the best part that Joss kept in the old one, it was spoiled. So it's just like, we got extra scenes of him beating the fuck out of him, but like at the end of the day, it is what it is.
That's still the best part of the movie to me.
See, I'm really happy about that. It is, but I'm also happy they restored the correct death of Steppenwolf, which is getting impaled, getting punched in the face, and then Wonder Woman chopping his fucking head off for no reason. For no reason.
The R
really
Still mad Amazonian peoples, girls.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
And they were hot. They deserved to die. They were.
You're right. They were all shredded.
He literally walked into the scene and said, "Yo, you should have been there for your sisters, and your mother got too."
Exactly.
He said, "What?" He said,
it was a reason.
It was like a yo mama joke that went bad. Yo, my mother. Oh, I'm gonna see you later, Papa. I'm gonna see you right back. And Sona, when he got hit, chopped his head off.
That was one of my gripes though, because the scene where, you know, they all fight Superman. I did love the, you know, obviously without the digital mustache removal, I did love the "you won't let me live, you want me die." Like, do they need you? Line. I did like those lines, and the fact that those were some of the hardest lines there.
But the line that followed after that, I bleed. That was bullshit. That was, I don't ever see Batman on the floor making jokes.
It was like wrestling.
I know, but Batman on the floor, oh, I bleed. Get the fuck out of here. Bruce would never do that.
But another thing I've seen a lot of my friends online, they had problems with the epilogue. I actually didn't have a problem with the epilogue. My biggest beef was I liked Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad, and him still being in the movie but not being that same Joker, I guess, bothered me a little bit because his voice changing a little more sensitive. Like he kind of played like his guy from the Little Things. It seemed like
that's exactly what it was. Yeah, he got the long hair and everything.
Yeah, that kind of bothered me a little bit. But I didn't mind it. And Deathstroke's mohawk. I'm not a big DC fan, so I don't know if somewhere in the future he has a mohawk.
No, for no reason.
My Beautiful Joe does not have a mohawk.
The epilogue would have been better if it was like a post-credit scene, maybe detached from the movie.
Yeah.
Because the weirdest thing is, Deathstroke is on the yacht with Lex saying, "Hey."
Exactly. And then 20 seconds later,
he's fighting with him. It's like, wait.
Exactly. Yeah. So the original ending, them being on the boat, that was leading to Ben's Batman movie that he dropped out of because he's a fucking alcoholic at the time, before he started pounding Ana de Armas and he felt better. That's what that was leading.
Different perception when you're watching it as like a mid-credit scene, post-credit scene, compared to this scene, then this scene, then this scene, like back to back.
Yeah. Another big gripe is
never ending. You know, it's like Martian Manhunter. This and it's like, okay, end the movie already. Like, end the movie. We keep saying goodbye. Like,
literally,
the way
it was set up. The way it was set up is like how, like I was explaining earlier. If you ever watched just like the Cartoon Network version of the Justice League, even how Martian Manhunter came in, it's how they did it in the movie. So I'm like, you're literally taking the anime, which once again, hey, listen, it was good to see. It literally explained. There was someone else who asked me if I watched the movie. She told me the same thing I was thinking. I barely remember the one that came out in 2017, but all I remember is that explains way more. Now, to Otto's point, yes, we did get an Aquaman. We did get a Wonder Woman. Aquaman did a little bit more better. Wonder Woman was kind of trash in '84, but here we are. That's not the point. The point is, 4 hours, it did better than it was supposed to, despite all the crazy factors. But
How do we feel about Martian Manhunter being in every movie and not doing anything?
Real quick. Martian Manhunter.
yo, that's real
Martian
talk.
Manhunter was supposed to be part of it, but he wasn't supposed to be the ending part
Yeah.
where he showed up to talk to Bruce. It was supposed to be John Stewart, Black Green Lantern, but WB was like, no, we're gonna do something with him. You can't use him. So Zach was like, all right, I'll give it to Martian Manhunter. But that would have been so much better and
Because
more hype.
he was in Man of Steel.
Every movie.
Yeah.
And now he just pops up. He was Martha for no reason.
For no reason. That was bullshit. That
You know what I'm saying? So he was
it
just
took
around.
away from that scene.
And then he waits to the end, like, oh, y'all need some help? Because
Exactly. It's done already.
Oh man, because I was coming. If you needed some help, I was on my way. But y'all got him. So, but call me if you need some backup.
You know I don't like fire. It was hot. I couldn't,
Yeah.
Pineapples, I wasn't ready. Chill. Hold up.
Right.
Now, I do have a question
Fight is
also,
over.
because I'm not a huge DC fan. I never watched Justice Unlimited. I don't like. I like Batman, and that's the end of my DC love. So with Cyborg, he got into a car accident, but his character in the movie is just a corner of his face. So like the rest of his body get destroyed in a car accident. That was a metal chest. That was a robot.
No, he's
the mother box did it.
Yeah, the
mother
mother
box took the rest of his whatever body he had left and transformed it into
okay, so it's not just a head.
Transformed it into him being a cyborg, but it's crazy because there are different versions of each hero and their origins, but that's just the origin they went with that one.
Yeah.
Because the one back in the 80s, I think half of his body was human and the other half was a cyborg.
Correct.
But the more into the years, they started changing the way he looked, and the only thing that was human about him was just his face.
Okay. Yeah, I was just
definitely
curious.
appreciate his backstory. Definitely did appreciate. There was more purpose for him. There was a lot of he was the emotion, the only real heart. And
it was the heart. Yeah.
Speaking to the conversation that we had a conversation last week about DC and Marvel, how Marvel characters are more human-like and DC characters are more godlike. Cyborg really got a more human story in this movie that again should have been in the original version, because it definitely would have helped, and that was the gripes that the actor had, and another WB backlash.
That's a whole big thing.
Yeah, so they could have prevented all that, because it's like if this was the story, it was like, why would you take it out unless you had something really you didn't want this character to really shine? It sounds like a personal vendetta, because that's the movie. Like that is the emotional arc of the movie. Him and his father, mom, and the tape recording comes back again, and him
helping out that waitress lady, giving her $100,000 out of nowhere. It shows like it made you empathize.
That was a good move. Like I did like the aspect of what Cyborg was trying to do. He had all that information, and with the first chance he got, instead of he was able to destroy the world, but he chose to actually help it out.
I wasn't expecting to like him. In my mind, Cyborg is Teen Titans, and I don't want to see him on the league. But they made me care about him. He's an adult.
No,
he did his thing.
They did.
And
over the years, they've slowly been trying to push him into the league, which I have no idea why.
Now we're gonna get the Zack Snyder Justice is Gray version coming soon.
Logan black and white.
Same exact movie again in black and white.
Excuse me, 2 minutes worth of extra Joker scenes. So future, get ready. People are gonna watch it.
So
you got to milk the cow, Papa. It's money, right? You got to get the views, get the clicks. If Logan can do it and Mad Max can do it, then Snyder can do it, right?
Just like I said, I mean, I love Snyder films. I think Watchmen is one of the greatest comic movies ever made. I love Watchmen, but when it comes to the black and white things, don't knock it till you try it, because Mad Max in black and white on a real high def TV looks phenomenal. It looks amazing.
Phenomenal, but it's still the same movie.
But it's a cool way to watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
Your comment that you made in the group chat, I actually did enjoy trying Kendrick Lamar's album backwards just to listen to it. Yeah. You know that. We had this conversation.
That's a real thing? I thought that was a joke.
That was a real thing.
No, he really did it. He said, hey, instead of going from tracks 1 to 10, play it 10 to 1.
Oh, and it was still cool. And if that's the way the artist want to do it, you can't fight the artist.
And I don't think
my thing with that is that he's not charging anything for it, and neither was Kendrick, I assume.
He sold it as
what?
He sold it in the earth.
Well, when you have Apple Music, it's all the same thing.
But still, he actually sold the CD in reverse order.
He resold it. Yeah, because it was out. It was
Netflix sells their TV shows. You can buy Orange New Black, the season 1 on Blu-ray, even though it's on Netflix already.
But there was no option. Like the option was to buy it on CD.
Apple Music title.
but not back then. That was years ago. They wasn't letting you reverse it back then. There was no title wasn't even out at that time.
Yes, you're crazy, man.
Well, I wasn't using.
Don't make
I
this
had
about
it.
rap.
I
This is
bought
about
the
justice.
CD, the original CD. I wasn't buying it again. That's it. I wasn't buying it again.
But at that time, you had Google Music Play also, and that was a streaming service, and you had other things. You could have did that on that.
We're not talking that long ago. Apple Music was definitely had all those albums. Kendrick Lamar's last album.
It was
back
iTunes also.
Like 3-4 years old.
It wasn't Apple Music though, and they didn't let you change a lot of things at that point. There was a lot of functionality that they didn't let you really reshuffle. You had to like put it on a playlist separately.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. For Apple Music, you could you could download for free if you have Apple Music. You could download the full album and the verse album separately and listen to them separately.
It wasn't Apple Music back then.
You guys are going off topic.
Really are.
Listen, cash grab. I get it. It's a cash grab.
It's not a cash grab because it's free. Is my point.
I'm just not buying it.
No, you're not buying the regular version. It's fine.
Well,
when this comes out in 4K, I'm buying this in 4K because I saw it streaming and it looked good, but uncompressed 4K Ultra HD is gonna look great.
Especially if they got a fucking special steelbook or some shit.
1000%. Yeah.
I'm not.
Cool. Batman was definitely on his Alonzo shit. I wanted to say that. Like he was on his Alonzo from Training Day because he was definitely surgical with that bitch. You know, my man was 100% accuracy, hitting all those damn parademons.
Except for the one that got the flag.
My man was 99%. That
Yo,
Batman was
it's
useless.
crazy. Even in the anime, Batman served a great purpose. When I was watching him the whole time, I was kind of laughing because I'm like, damn, bro. He was like, yo, you looking like a backup singer, bro. You just in the background chilling. Now, mind you, great guy.
Blocking. He was blocking. He did a lot of blocking.
Oh, what?
So, quick question before we run out of time.
I love his gauntlet, yo.
Otto,
that was cool.
Otto, I'm asking you this in all seriousness.
Yeah.
Did you like the explanation of Flash's time traveling and him reversing the boxes twice?
It's weird because I can't disconnect the knowledge that I already have about the Speed Force. So I knew what he was doing.
The same way.
But
running.
Somebody that I watched it with that didn't know shit about DC. As soon as the scene was over, I was like, so he was reversing time. She was like, oh no, I know, I get it. So I guess it did a good enough job explaining it. Why did his sneakers blow off? And then the lady was like, yo, where's your shoe?
Did a little pirouette.
To explain that, I did like how they, I like how they mentioned, I can't really reverse time. I can't break the rules. I like how they went there.
Yeah.
Originally when they were explaining the Speed Force, even back then he couldn't go too fast because his clothes would rip off, and he always have to use his suit to even run, because if he ran fast enough, all his clothes would burn off. So I did like how they.
I'm fine with. My issue was the box falling, and then him making the box come back up at the same time while he's running to it.
Time travel, papa. That's what we do. Speed Force.
And at the end, when he ran to the Unity, it was done. It had formed, and then he made it unform, and like at the same time, it was.
Would it have been better for you if you used the glove and went like that, and then rewound it, and then Vision got back together? And shut the fuck up! It's time travel. Relax.
Nanotech makes more sense than the Speed Force.
It was time travel.
Nanotech makes more sense than the Speed Force. I'm sorry, it makes more sense.
Nah, bro. When it comes to the DC. Anytime it goes to time travel and Speed Force, they always make it more crazy than what it needs to be.
But we're running out of time. Thank you guys for joining. Like I said, I appreciate Zach getting a chance to release it in his way, his format. That was the biggest win for it all. The internet won again. Shout out to everybody listening and watching. Give us your grade. This has been grade pending. And we'll see you for the next thing, whatever we grade next. Later. It's about to end. So later, peoples.
Adios, amigos. Peace.
All right.
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
What do y'all think about Kong versus Godzilla? Who wins that fight?
What kind of question is that, sir?
Me and you had this little fight back and
fucking
forth.
question is that, sir? Do you think this is a game, baby?
But did
Kaiju.
He took the
Zilla
right
gang.
hook.
Why do you
All
have a
day.
Godzilla in your
Right
head?
hook in the trailer.
Because I knew this was gonna happen, John. I'll have you know my Godzilla actually he protects my PS5 over there. But I was like, I feel I'm gonna get ass, so I'm gonna rep Zilla Gang. I was gonna wear my Zilla T-shirt, but I was like, no, that's too much.
He took
Yeah,
that
man,
right
it's,
hook in the trailer though. I don't know.
Yeah, to make you want to see it. You know,
It was
but, a little teaser,
punch.
but
So,
Godzilla's
I was actually, me and Paul had a nice little back and forth about this.
off camera.
Yes, this is a while ago.
This
He said
Oh,
in the
okay.
trailer, and we were talking about it, and like, so I was confused about a few things. One, except for Godzilla 2000 with Matthew, what was it? John
Broderick.
Matthew
Matt
Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. Yeah, yeah.
Matthew Broderick. Then besides that one, and then the Godzilla, not the last one. I didn't see the last one, but the one right after that.
2009.
Yeah, with fucking
King of the Monsters, or the one with
King of the
11,
Monsters,
or
the
the
last
one
one.
with Flash,
the one with
Right.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
the one with Quicksilver.
Yeah.
So I saw that one, and I still wasn't that interested. I love dinosaurs, but Godzilla's not really a dinosaur. I was like, I don't know what he is. He scares Japanese people. I don't know.
That's right, he's not a dinosaur, so put
I'm
some
not.
respect.
He's a lizard that got nuclear.
He's a kaiju. Thank you.
He's
Atomic
a
breath.
kaiju.
Atomic breath.
Not to be confused with Jewish people, but a kaiju.
But I
No
also
offense, don't cancel me.
I've never seen any of the King Kongs except for King Kong from like 04, which was terrible.
So you didn't watch
There's
Skull
only
Island.
one
And
Kong.
then Kong. Those are the only two I've ever seen. What?
This Kong is only it has one movie.
Yo, we got 10 minutes left.
Skull Island is the only movie that's in this
So,
universe.
so that's the Kong that I know of. And I was
Yeah.
telling Paul, I don't get it because size-wise, Kong's a lot smaller than Godzilla. Like a lot.
So-
smaller.
he was a
So in Skull Island, it took place in the 70s, and he was a little
He
baby.
told me, so he
Yeah.
grew.
Yeah,
But
and now
My
he grew.
thing was
Yeah.
that
Mexican
from-
supplements.
just from judging from the video, I was like, I got King Kong because to me, Kong is gonna he has fight IQ. He has fight IQ. He know how to
He
throw
fought a
punches.
hand.
Atomic breath, John. Atomic breath.
He could parry it.
Now we all know this is like every superhero movie, and they're gonna team up,
Mhm.
and it's probably gonna be Mecha Godzilla. But
Mhm.
before that, I want to make sure it's clear that Godzilla would beat that monkey's ass.
Well, what's gonna happen is
What's a
Put
Mecha
money
Godzilla?
on this, boys. What are we doing?
when Kong gets him down, 11 from Stranger Things is gonna say, "We must save Mothra," and then
Yo,
Kong's
I'm
gonna say,
so
"Why did
annoyed.
you
I
say
don't know if you
that
guys-
name?"
I'm sure that you guys saw the trailer. Kong takes a piece of Godzilla's tail and he
Yeah.
puts it as part of his as an axe,
Mhm.
and
But
they fight.
is it Godzilla or is it Mecha?
It was a Mecha Godzilla. That's right. Yeah.
What's
I'm
a Mecha
excited.
Godzilla? What is that?
Oh, God.
John, we're gonna let you catch up on the MonsterVerse,
Watch the
and
movie.
then we'll
I'm
do.
not
We'll,
watching
we'll
those
catch.
movies.
Why not?
You saw when on Channel 11 when I was a kid.
No,
he
no,
got
no, no,
cardboard
no.
boxes?
Not the old ones. Not the
Only
old
the
ones.
recent ones. We're
The
talking
recent one. You got. It's a monster universe. It's all
the
connected.
MonsterVerse.
So you saw 2013, which is the one with Quicksilver.
Mhm.
You got to see King of the Monsters, and
I feel like
then
I've seen King of Monsters. I feel like I let it watch me. I didn't watch it.
It was very dull to have that many monsters. It was too many people talking. I wanted to get to the fights. Like the fights.
but that's all of them. Every time
know,
they show
that's the
humans,
problem.
I'm like, "Ugh."
I'm not hyped about this one because it should be great, but I'm like,
I wanted 11 to die in the last one, and then she didn't die. And now
She's
she's
back.
older, and now she's back. So
I'm
maybe
telling
she'll
you,
get
she
stepped
can-
on this time.
he
Hopefully.
can say he must save Mothra.
Stop it.
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.